Hello YouTube fans, and I'm going to talk about one of my favourite sequels, that being Jaws 2. Now Jaws 2 come out in the summer of 1978 and it was a big hit film. But there's always, over the years, people have tended to debate saying it's not as good as the first one, it's weak, it's blah blah blah. I'm going to defend Jaws 2 because one of the things people were complaining about was saying that the director isn't as good as Steven Spielberg, and on another review someone was doing a comparison, and I don't think that's fair because Steven Spielberg is one of the best directors going. You cannot do a comparison. Directors direct films in different ways, and if you want to see a shitty director who dares to do a Steven Spielberg or a John Hooper, because there's always that debate, look at the shitty remake of Prototypes, where you've got a talentless hack with a generic, boring, wooden piece of shit. That is how you do a remake shitter. This director, I think, did a good job, and as we all know, he also did Santa Claus the movie. But I actually like this because you get to see more of the shark. And again, there was an argument with the director saying he should show the shark more. But like the director said, the original Jaws, as we all know, there was a lot of error problems in getting the shark to work. Lucky enough, they fixed that problem, and the director wanted it to work. And how many directors have an horse shackle, sit on a shark's backside and go wee-ha riding on a shark with a camera lens? He did. In his photos where you see the making of the director, and he's sat, I'm not making this up, he's sat down on a horse shackle riding on a shark. Seriously, I've not been smoking any pot. He's literally smoking, obviously not a real shark, but he's floating on a muggle shark with a horse shackle filming it. There's a few errors nowadays and a few cock-ups, and that's the only thing with Blu-ray. The famous scene where the shark's about to eat the lad and you see its mouth open up. You look proper on the Blu-ray, you have to see one of the pipes inside its mouth. But you know, it's a little cock-up. People today say that the shark doesn't look that realistic, but in all fairness, I choose that fucking shark over shitty CGI any day of the week. Originally, it was going to be just roughly about the story about the Indian Addis, you know, the war story. What they told when they were showing everyone stars. But the director and producers wanted to bring back Roy Scheider. And what a good idea to bring him back. Now, as we all know, Roy Scheider didn't want to be typecasted. That's why when Jaws 3 come out, he wasn't in it. Which favoured the film really, because I like Daniel Craig as an actor. I also like Roy Scheider, but it made it a different no. And in number 4, which I talk less about because that would be a fucking rant, they kill him off. But Roy Scheider didn't want to be typecasted, but he went along with it, and to be honest, I think he's brilliant. He still is pretty good. It's just the same that Richard Chambers didn't prize his role. I think roughly when they was filming this, they would have been doing toasting outings of the third kind. There's probably other reasons why I didn't do the sequel, but I think it's roughly that. But, no, the work the director did, these actors was not allowed to have a break. And they was filming this, I shit you not, in December time, made it look like summertime, and they was freezing their behinds off. And every Saturday, they had a party to celebrate the hard work they did doing Jaws 2. And let's not forget the famous trailer, just before you thought it was safe to go back in the water. That to me is an iconic ad to market any film. I actually love Jaws 2. It's tougher, it's ballsy, it's edgier. And you do get a few gruesome deaths, unlike the first one, which is a classic. You got 3 deaths. You get a lot of deaths in this. A few deleted scenes like the helicopter, we all know, got dragged under. And the deleted scene is attacking the guy in the helicopter. And a few here and there. But it's not a bad film. I don't get why people say it's not as good. I do actually like the kids in it. A lot of people had issues with the kids who were stuck on the boat, but I like that. Again, it made it different. I like the way that the shark gets it. I also like the way the shark gets badly burned on one side of its face. It gives it a bit of horror. Again, Roy Scheider kicks ass, saves his kids. I do admit his lad's suddenly thrown up after 2 days, but I like that. I like it to have a happy ending, which it did. And, oh no, Jaws 2 is a good sequel. And let's not forget the iconic scene where it's chasing that steer and you see the fin go up twice. That was to market the sequel, which I thought was a clever little touch they did there. So no, yeah, people say it's not as good as the first, but you can't compare the original of Steven Spielberg. You cannot get the magic touch of Steven Spielberg. But this director did the best he did, and the ideas and the angles what he did to make that film is top notch. Unlike some of your hacks you see nowadays, what are gold fucking directors, he's a damn good director, and I salute him for that. I like Jaws 2, you see a lot more of the shark. Is it as scary as the first one? I say a bit in both, because you do see a lot more of the shark, and the shark definitely kicks ass. He's definitely the star in this film. But I do like Jaws 2. It's a worthy sequel. It's a damn good sequel. I like it. And because I like it that much, and in my eyes, just like the original classic Steven Spielberg's Jaws, I'm going to give this a big, fat, fapping 8-star rating. Because I love Jaws 2. I don't see anything wrong with Jaws 2. People said the pacing issues, but I think it was pretty good. They worked hard. The director did just as good as Steven Spielberg. To me, he's a worthy director. And he's got a lot of imagination. So other than that, everyone, have a good summer. Well, if you can have a good summer, that is. But have a good one anyway. As she's now, you know, it will be safe to go back in the water, as we're not allowed to go in it. But other than that, have a good one.